For years, Apple's smallest tablet has carried a big reputation. The iPad mini has always been that perfect balance between portability and power, and now, whispers of the iPad mini 8 are heating up across the tech world. And honestly, it feels like something big is coming. Apple may be quietly preparing the most refined version of the iPad mini yet, and this time, it might finally close the gap between the mini lineup and the Pro series in a way we've never seen before. The first leak started with a few quiet reports from suppliers, claiming Apple was testing a new 8.3-inch display panel, not just for minor updates, but for a serious refresh. Rumors say the iPad mini 8 could finally feature Apple's adaptive 120Hz ProMotion display technology. That means smoother scrolling, better gaming performance, and a way more responsive Apple Pencil experience. Imagine using that tiny device and feeling the same buttery motion that you get on the iPad Pro. That's exactly the kind of upgrade that could make the Mini feel like a pocket-sized powerhouse. Design-wise, Apple isn't expected to change the entire look, but subtle refinements might make it feel completely new. Expect thinner bezels, a lighter frame, and possibly a new set of finishes. Rumors mention a new titanium gray tone and a pale rose hue. Apple loves reusing the color palette from its iPhones, so it wouldn't be surprising if we see iPhone 16 colors making their way into the iPad mini 8 lineup. Now, when it comes to performance, this is where things start getting interesting. Multiple reliable analysts, including Ming-Chi Kuo and Ross Young, have hinted that the iPad mini 8 might finally move to Apple's M-series chip, possibly the M2 or even the M3 depending on production timing. That's a massive leap from the A15 Bionic in the current iPad mini 6. Just imagine what that means for creators, gamers, and students. You'd be holding a device small enough to fit in a jacket pocket, yet powerful enough to edit 4K videos, run advanced design apps, and even handle console-level gaming through Apple Arcade or cloud platforms. Battery life has also been a hot topic. The iPad mini 7 improved slightly, but users still felt the battery drained quickly during multitasking. Reports suggest Apple has been testing new, more efficient OLED panels and a redesigned logic board that can make better use of the internal space, allowing for a slightly larger battery without changing the compact body. Combine that with the M-series chip's power efficiency, and we could be looking at an iPad mini that easily crosses the 12-hour mark on mixed. One area fans have been begging Apple to fix is the infamous jelly scrolling effect. That slightly uneven screen refreshed some users. Noticed when scrolling vertically on the iPad mini 6, Apple seems to have heard the feedback loud and clear. Insider reports claim Apple has completely redesigned the display controller for the iPad mini 8 to eliminate that issue once and for all. It's one of those small fixes that quietly changes the entire experience. Another thing Apple might push hard this time is the camera system. The Mini 8 isn't going to compete with the iPhone 16 Pro, but it's expected to get a serious upgrade. A new 12-megapixel ultra-wide front camera with center stage for video calls, better low-light performance, and an upgraded rear sensor that supports 4K HDR recording. This could turn the iPad mini 8 into a surprisingly capable vlogging tool, especially for creators who travel light. Connectivity will also get a bump. Expect Wi-Fi 6E or even Wi-Fi 7 support, plus an upgraded 5G modem with faster mmWave bands for US carriers. Apple has been working on integrating its own custom modem chips, but most sources believe we'll still see Qualcomm modems this time, with Apple's in-house design likely reserved for future generations. Now let's talk about one feature that could make or break this device: the Apple Pencil experience. Leaks suggest the iPad mini 8 might introduce support for the new Apple Pencil 3, the same one rumored to launch alongside the next-gen iPad Pro. It's expected to have magnetic wireless charging, a new pressure-sensitive grip, and possibly haptic feedback for more realistic drawing. If Apple makes it compatible, the Mini 8 could suddenly become a dream device for digital artists who prefer a smaller canvas. Price is another area where Apple might surprise us. The iPad mini 7 launched around $499, and while inflation and higher chip costs could push the Mini 8 closer to $549 or $599, there's a good chance Apple tries to hold that $499 price point, especially if they position it as a student-friendly but powerful device. Timing-wise, several supply chain sources say the iPad mini 8 has entered late-stage production testing. That usually means an official reveal is just months away. Some analysts predict a spring 2026 launch, while others believe Apple could announce it quietly early next year alongside new MacBooks. Apple's strategy with the mini line has always been low-key. No flashy events, just a website update and a press release. But this time, the hype might demand something bigger. Another question everyone's asking: will the iPad mini 8 finally switch to OLED? Apple's first OLED iPads, the new iPad Pro models, are already setting the standard for display quality. But bringing OLED to the mini line might increase the cost significantly. That's why some insiders say Apple might stick with advanced LCD liquid retina for one more year, optimizing brightness, contrast, and power efficiency. If that happens, we could see OLED arrive in the iPad mini 9 instead. There's also speculation about Apple's new AI-powered iPad OS features. With Apple Intelligence rolling out across Mac, iPhone, and iPad Pro, the iPad mini 8 might be the smallest device yet to support those generative AI capabilities. Imagine being able to summarize notes, write emails, or edit documents just by voice on a mini tablet that fits in your hand. That level of smart interaction could make the mini not just a smaller iPad, but a completely different kind of productivity companion. And while we're on the topic of productivity, there's talk about Apple exploring a new accessory lineup. Maybe a redesigned smart folio case with built-in magnetic keyboard support, or even a fold-out stand optimized for FaceTime and note-taking. If that happens, the Mini 8 could finally blur the line between a tablet and a mini laptop. Now let's take a step back and think about the strategy behind this launch. The iPad lineup right now is kind of cluttered: the standard iPad, the Air, the Pro, the Mini. Apple knows it needs to simplify the message, and the Mini 8 might be part of that reset. It's the most portable iPad ever made, but with the M-series chip and advanced display, it could represent Apple's idea of the ultimate everyday tablet, the device that's always with you, always ready, and powerful enough for almost anything. But maybe the most exciting part of this story isn't just the hardware. It's the sense that Apple finally sees the iPad mini as more than just a side project. The company reportedly increased its mini production allocation for 2025 and 2026 due to rising demand among students, pilots, and field professionals. That's a clear sign that the mini isn't going anywhere. Imagine a scenario where Apple bundles the iPad, Mini 8 with the Apple Pencil 3 and a new folio case, all perfectly integrated with Apple Intelligence. You're not just buying a tablet. You're buying a smart assistant, a note-taking machine, a portable entertainment hub, and a serious creative tool in one tiny package. That's exactly the kind of ecosystem Apple wants you to live in. And here's the thing: every time Apple updates the Mini, it creates a ripple effect across the entire tablet market. Other brands start rushing to release compact tablets with high refresh rates and premium builds, trying to match what the Mini offers. But no one else has quite nailed that balance of size, speed, and software that Apple has. So what can you expect when it finally drops? A refined design, a blazing fast chip, longer battery life, an AI-powered experience, and the same classic mini feel that Apple fans love. And even if it doesn't bring every wild rumor to life, like OLED or an M3 chip, it's still shaping up to be one of the most balanced and versatile tablets Apple has ever built. At the end of the day, the iPad Mini 8 isn't just about tech specs. It's about feeling empowered to do more in less space. It's about creativity on the go, power without bulk, and a sense of freedom that no laptop or phone can fully deliver. And that's why so many people are waiting, because the Mini isn't just a smaller iPad. It's a statement. A reminder that great things really do come in small packages.